Welcome, dear teachers. Every day we walk into our classrooms with lesson plans, textbooks, and learning goals. We think about what we have to teach, how much syllabus to cover, and how to manage time. But today, let us begin from a slightly different place. Let us pause for a moment and shift our attention away from teaching towards learning. Before we talk about pedagogy, methods, or strategies, we need to understand something very fundamental. How do children actually learn? Because unless we understand how learning happens in a child's mind, we cannot decide how teaching should happen in a classroom. Do children learn because we explain clearly? Or do they learn when they get a chance to think, talk, explore, and connect ideas to their own experiences? In this section, we will step into the learner's world. We will observe simple classroom situations and realize something very important. Children do not come to class empty. They come with ideas, experiences, curiosity, and prior understanding. And effective teaching begins when we align our teaching with how children learn. So let us begin. By the end of this submodule, you should be able to recognize that learning is an active process. Understand the critical role of prior knowledge. Identify what student engagement looks like in a classroom. Appreciate the role of motivation in learning. Acknowledge that children learn in different ways and at different speeds. Derive implications for classroom teaching. Think of something you've learned very well in your own life. Maybe cycling, maybe cooking, maybe using a phone. Ask yourself, did you learn it by only listening? Or did you learn it by doing, trying, making mistakes, and exploring? Children learn in exactly the same way. Learning is not a passive process. Children do not learn by silently sitting and listening. They learn by doing, thinking, talking, experiencing. Look at these two classrooms. In one, students listen and copy. In the other, students talk, discuss, explore, and discover. Learning happens where students are active. Children never come to class empty. They come with experiences, ideas, and understanding from their daily lives. New learning sticks only when it connects to what children already know. Fractions connect to sharing food, measurement connects to filling water bottles, plants connect to what they see around home. This connection is not extra, it is essential. When teaching connects to prior knowledge, students understand faster, students participate more, learning becomes more meaningful. Concepts stay for a long time because children are not learning something new from scratch. They are linking it to what they already understand. But when we do not connect, students memorize definitions. They forget after exams. Learning remains superficial, and slowly students lose interest. This is where rote learning begins. Let us look at this simple classroom example of teaching fractions. On the left, the teacher begins with a definition. A fraction is part of a whole. Students listen, they copy, but many are still unsure what this really means. On the right, the teacher starts with something familiar. When you share a roti between two people, how much does each get? Suddenly, students begin to think. They discuss, they relate it to their own experience. The concept is the same, but the learning is very different. This is the power of connecting new learning to what children already know. Children do not understand ideas in isolation. They understand them when new concepts connect to their everyday experiences. And this is why prior knowledge plays such a powerful role in learning. But connecting to prior knowledge is still not enough. Even when teaching connects well, learning happens deeply only when children are engaged. You can actually see engagement in a classroom when students are asking questions, participating in discussion, showing curious expressions, trying to solve on their own, explaining ideas to peers, eager to answer and focused on the task. You can also see disengagement when students copy silently without thinking, look outside, wait for teacher answers, finish work without interest, and forget the next day. Motivation plays a very powerful role in learning. When children are motivated, something changes inside the classroom. They do not just sit and listen, they begin to think. They ask questions, they show curiosity. When students are interested, they remember concepts for a longer time because learning is no longer forced. It becomes meaningful. Motivated children are also willing to put in effort. They try, they attempt, and they do not fear making mistakes. Most importantly, they begin to take ownership of their own learning. They feel that learning belongs to them, not just to the teacher or the textbook. This is why creating an engaging and motivating classroom is not extra. It is essential for deep learning. Now comes another important point. Even in an engaging classroom, all children do not learn in the same way or at the same speed. Some understand quickly, some need more time, and some need a different approach. Same class, same teacher, same activity. Yet, learning levels are different because children learn differently. Some by seeing, some by doing, some by discussing, and some by repeating. Let's pause and think about this for a moment. In most classrooms, we teach all children the same way, at the same pace, with the same method. But the children are not the same. So, what happens? Some children understand because the method matches how they learn. Some children manage to memorize just enough to cope. And some children slowly, quietly start falling behind. Not because they are weak, not because they are careless, but because the way we are teaching does not match the way they learn. This is where learning gaps begin, inside the classroom, during regular teaching, without us even realizing it. This has a very important implication for teaching. Because children learn differently, teachers cannot teach in only one way. Good teaching must involve students, connect to prior knowledge, keep them engaged, and use different methods. This is the foundation of effective method of teaching. Now pause and reflect. Think of yesterday's class. Were students active or passive? Because the way children learn must guide the way we teach. Thank you so much. Happy teaching.